Hi, welcome to Biz Jet TV. My name is Fabrizio Poli. Today we're going to be talking more about the Knight Frank wealth report that's just been published and private jets. See the correlation between the two. I did unravel some data on the previous report, which was interesting. If you haven't checked that video out about the magic number, you can check that out on the link above. But today we're going to look more about the report and see how that's applicable to business and what's happening, going to be happening in the future, and how we can plug into this and make our businesses make more money, create more jobs, create more well-being and around the world, and make this planet a better place. So let's get straight into it. Off we go. So in my previous video, you were revealed the magic number, private aviation. If you haven't checked that video out, click on the link above. 3.5% of the ultra high net worth individuals in the world actually own a private jet. That number, as you know, is 513,244 individuals, which are worth more than $30 million. That's what classifies an ultra high net worth individual. So if we look at these numbers and in the different parts of the world, we notice that the growth over the next 5 years of ultra high net worth individuals, that the highest growth is going to be seeing in India, where there currently are 6,000 ultra high net worth individuals. That number is going to grow by 73%. Egypt is number 2 with 66%, followed by Vietnam with 64%, China with 58%, and Indonesia with 57%. So a lot of growth in those countries. Another important piece of data is that 240,000 of the ultra high net worth individuals, so almost half, reside in the United States of America. What is this telling you? This is telling you that it's going to be wealth is going to grow over the next few years. The other important data, when they interviewed all these people for the Knight Frank wealth report, they discovered that 80% of them are being more dedicated now and looking more at their personal wellness. So they are considering their personal wellness. So let's put these two bits of data together, okay, combined with the number of private jets in the world and the coronavirus situation. And what do we see? We see that if 80% of the ultra high net worth individuals are concerned about their well-being, well, are these people, when they need to travel, are they going to travel with the airlines? Now, you know, when you're on an airplane with other 250 people, the chances of catching a virus are a lot higher. A number of airlines are coming up with ideas of how to sort of, check people's health. There's going to be a lot of disruption. And I've talked about this before. I don't need to go into it in this video. Here we're talking about the wealth report and private jets. So what's going to happen? So I'm not going to say now that 80% of the ultra high net worths are going to go into private jet ownership, but I can see quite a number of them looking into it. And when you do look into a private jet, you have to think of, well, if you charter, check in with the charter company. What do they do after each flight? Do they disinfect the aircraft? What about their crew? You're going to have to ask those questions, and every operator is going to have a different way of doing it. The other option is you either lease an airplane, which becomes exclusive to you for 12 months or 18 months. During that time, you will control the airplane and the crew. So you know if they've got any viruses or anything like that, you can have the airplane disinfected. But even better, if you own the aircraft, then you're fully in control of everything. But when you do go out and you purchase an aircraft, you have to also look at something which I've talked about a number of times, and I don't know why other people don't, is the cabin air. Okay, so does this airplane have a HEPA filtration system, for example? And also, what is the pressurization at altitude? Now, if you look at the Global 7500, now that is new airplane, long range, 7,700 nautical miles at 45,000 feet. The cabin altitude is 4,500 feet, while with an airline it's about 8,000 feet. So if you are traveling for 10 hours at 4,500 feet instead of 8,000 feet, when you get off the airplane, you're going to be a lot more rested, and that affects your overall health. It affects your immune system, which is important. The other thing they did on the Global 7500 is the lighting helps to the human body tune into the circadian rhythm of wherever they're going to, and that helps to adjust your body to wherever you're traveling to. And obviously the quality of the air is important. You can also, and I've talked about this before, about using essential oils in the cabin, diffused throughout the cabin, which can help as well to keep the air clean and pure maintain the wellness of the passengers and the crew on board. So these are all aspects which play into it. So just to recap, so we know that number of ultra high net worth individuals is increasing. We know that currently only 3.5% own a private jet. We can see that the number of ultra high net worth individuals is going to be increasing over the next few years, which means there's a lot of money to be made. I mean, if you want to go to those places, another interesting piece of data I'll throw in there is that 90% of aircraft accidents actually happen in third world countries. Now, that's obviously a snapshot airline stuff. So if you are going to be going to these countries to do business where the number of ultra high net worth is going to be increasing exponentially over the next few years, what you want to be doing is you want to be traveling by private jet. You don't want to be going in by airlines and risking your life. So there's another case there for the private jet. So all these numbers are telling us I'm very bullish about what's going to be happening in the future. This was already forecasted before the coronavirus. What the coronavirus has done and is doing is just going to accelerate this whole thing. So I think more and more people are going to travel by private jet. But the question is, are you going to be traveling by private jet? Are you going to lease, or are you going to buy a private jet? Are you going to have the edge over your competition? Are you going to be able to travel to different places using a private jet, getting in and out before anybody else, and doing those deals, getting to those deals before those? That's a question I ask you. If you want to contact me for a one-to-one call, which we can do, and we can focus in on what your needs are and give you the right recommendation. And when I talk to people one-to-one, I'm not here to sell you a jet. I really am here to provide you with the best solution. And just give an example, a couple of weeks ago, I did a consultancy call with a client, and I recommended he not buy a private jet. I recommended he not charter, and I recommended that he buy a fractional of an airplane with one of these fractional ownership companies. Because that was the best solution for that particular client. So it's all about you. It's about your needs, where you want to go with your business and your family. And so that's really it on this episode of Biz Jet TV. Please check the other videos on this channel. There's lots of content on here. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel. And that's all from Fabrizio Poli on Biz Jet TV. And before I go, please share this video. That's it. Off we go. See you on the next one. Bye.